How Chinese EV giant BYD is taking on Tesla. In its marketing materials, it boasts that it is the largest automobile brand that you have never heard of. As of right now, the Chinese company BYD has surpassed Tesla to become the greatest seller of electric automobiles in the world. Even though you have never heard of BYD, there is a possibility that you have been on one of their buses. In the meantime, its taxis are patrolling the streets of some of the most populous cities in the globe. On the other hand, the reason that BYD has surpassed Tesla is not because of taxis and buses. On the contrary, it is the result of BYD and the Chinese government engaging in long-term strategic thinking that has given rise to this result. In addition, it is putting China in a position to become the most important global player in the transportation industry of the future, which is electric vehicles, a market that has the potential to be worth $8.8 trillion by the end of the decade. Here are the three most significant factors that have contributed to BYD's rise to the top of the electric vehicle market. Federal subsidies for electric vehicles in China. BYD's ascent to prominence can be attributed in large part to the Chinese government. Arguably, we have never witnessed anything comparable to this in terms of the level of help that China has provided to automobile manufacturers, particularly about electric vehicles. Since 2010, Beijing has granted tax exemptions to the industry totaling approximately $30 billion, and Beijing may waive an additional $97 billion by the year 2027. To be more specific, China employs both a carrot and a stick strategy. The government not only mandates that automobile manufacturers produce electric vehicles (EVs), but they also provide automakers with lower loans as well as cheaper land and research and development incentives. In addition, BYD has reaped enormous benefits as a result of this. It continues to sell the majority of its electric vehicles in the market that it is based in. However, it is important to note that Tesla has also benefited from Chinese subsidies, which is where the second reason for the upswing of BYD comes into play. Cars with lower prices. Simply put, the majority of BYD's automobiles are less expensive than Tesla's. It sells 11 popular models with prices beginning at ones that are lower than Tesla's most affordable option for the Model 3 sedan. Moreover, BYD sells a far greater number of the more affordable automobiles in its inventory. Beginning at $10,000, they offer extremely affordable versions. In the sense that Elon Musk believed that you have to sort of start at the high end with a seductive performance car to get people interested in electric cars, and then that you had to work your way down the price spectrum, their approach has been completely different. It was about cheap cabs and buses that needed a heck of a lot of batteries, and BYD went at it from the opposite end of the spectrum, which was concerning the fact that they drove down the pricing of the batteries that they could put into passenger cars. While the typical price paid for a Tesla is approximately $45,000, the typical price that a BYD is sold for is approximately half of that amount. This, of course, begs the question, how is it that they can sell them at such a low price? The hidden meaning behind the price tag. The production of a top-secret sauce. That which is referred to as vertical integration is where vertical integration can be found. We can provide better customer service and brand development because of our vertical integration capacity, which also enables us to respond more quickly to changes in market trends and provides us with greater flexibility. This is a fancy way of expressing that they manufacture a significant portion of the components that are designed to be installed in their automobiles. Typically, automobile manufacturers get the majority of their components from suppliers such as Bosch, Continental, and Aptiv. For example, Volkswagen only manufactures 35% of the components that go into its ID.3 electric vehicle. While this is going on, Tesla manufactures 68% of the components that go into its Model 3 in the United States. 75% of the components that go into BYD's flagship model, the Seal, are manufactured by the company. The fact that BYD is the only automaker that manufactures all of its batteries in-house is the most significant aspect of the company. During the pandemic, when the supply chains for the industry were in a condition of complete and utter disarray, this was of the utmost importance. The fact that BYD was in charge of its destiny provided it with a significant advantage over the other companies in this sector, particularly in terms of batteries. Since the 1990s, this particular corporation has been operating in the global market for batteries. In reality, the acronym BYD stands for Build Your Dreams. It was initially a battery firm when it was founded in 1995. Rechargeable batteries are manufactured by them for use in mobile phones and other electronic gadgets goods. Following that, the company entered the automobile industry in the year 2003. They can cut a significant amount of costs by manufacturing their batteries and other components. Notable investors have shown interest as a result of this. You may refer to it as the ongoing promotional roadshow for BYD. In contrast to Elon Musk, founder Wang Chuanfu, and the business magnate Warren Buffett brought his close friend Bill Gates along for the journey during his visit to Beijing. It was wonderful. That automobile is of such high quality that it astounds me. By way of his holding firm, Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett was one of the most significant early investors in BYD. Not only that, but the battery technology might also provide BYD a technological advantage over some of its competitors. It makes use of lithium iron phosphate, which is not only more affordable than other types of batteries, but also comes in a pack that is far more compact. In addition, Wang Chuanfu, the company's founder, possesses a strong knowledge of chemistry. In a way, he is the antithesis of Elon Musk. Wang is an engineer in addition to being a chemist by profession. An additional incident that was shared with one of our reporters was that when he was informed that he needed to dress up a little bit for an investor meeting, he went out and purchased shirts that were something that he could have purchased off the street. As a result, he is not even close to being considered one of the most flamboyant leaders in the automotive sector. Plans to expand internationally. All of this has positioned BYD to become the most significant participant in the electric vehicle industry. Now the question is whether or not it can become one of the largest automobile manufacturers in the world. This necessitates expanding outside the borders of China. 2021 marked the beginning of BYD's efforts to accelerate its global expansion. At the same time, it began to introduce other passenger vehicles to markets all over the world, including those in Europe, Southeast Asia, and the Middle East. The company is still in the process of entering the global market. The contribution to the volume is increasing, but it is still negligible. Nevertheless, within 3 years, BYD has emerged as one of the most successful electric vehicle brands in multiple markets, including Thailand, Brazil, and Australia. Furthermore, it is still to be determined whether or not this particular company is capable of achieving rapid expansion in some of the more recent markets that it is entering, where it is not well known and is not recognized. First, there will be legislative difficulties, and second, there will be brand awareness. These will be the two most significant challenges that BYD will face in its global development. E-vehicle subsidies in China are the subject of an investigation by the European Union. These Chinese automakers are increasing the number of electric vehicles that they ship to Europe. Because these automobiles are manufactured in China, the manufacturing costs are very low. As a result, automobile manufacturers can set their pricing in Europe at a lower level than their European counterparts. This has caused the European automobile sector to experience a great deal of concern. To get around this, one solution will be to expand the quantity of production that is done locally. There is no doubt that localization is one of the extremely essential strategies that BYD employs in its Europe strategy. Because of this, we are contemplating and we are analyzing several sites in Europe to determine where we can construct the automobiles. When it comes to buses and trucks, BYD is not present in the United States. The trade tensions that exist between Beijing and Washington are causing BYD to regress and are giving them pause in their efforts to join the market in the United States. Experts in the automotive industry have projected for years that established automobile manufacturers such as General Motors, Volkswagen, or Toyota will eventually catch up to Tesla in the field of electric automobiles. In retrospect, it is probably not anything that should come as a surprise that a Chinese competitor arrived there first. Did you like it? Tell us what you think of the video in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more interesting videos.